Okay, we'll give it a few seconds here. All right, got my eyes on, I can actually see. And we're gonna be putting on this Revolution Designs VTS slipper setup. I didn't realize this is a 2-pad slipper setup and cage and back pad. I didn't realize I needed a back pad, a regular Octagon pad. And I had a stock setup here, but I thought, let me go ahead and see what I can order. So I ordered up these Team Brood carbon fiber pads. You get 2 to a pack, and I'm only going to be using 1 on the back, so 1 pack will cover 2 vehicles. So 1 on this and 1 on the red shift, because that's got a VTS system on it too. And I got a 3rd one for the slashed it, but that right now has the stock slipper setup on it. I hear people talking about roughing up the surface a bit, or surfaces a bit. I think I got sandpaper. I just don't know if I got any in here other than Dremel wheel. One of those and smooth would work pretty well, just by hand. So we'll do a little scuffing here. Just kind of rough it up a little bit so it's got a little better bite on both sides. I don't know if people are CA gluing the edges. Looks like they may have been. A pretty clean cut. Probably wouldn't hurt. Good little scuff up here. Hey, happy Friday to you too, Eric. Doing a little playing, getting this little VTS slipper system ready to pop on here. Get the tarp 1 step closer to rolling. Okay, got that all done up. How you doing, my friend? Weather good down there in the AFLA? I know business is booming down there. Hell, I'm half tempted to go down and work. All right, let's see. That's the back plate. She goes on. Whoop, day, not on the motor shaft, dummy. Okay, now go ahead and slip that out. Carbon disc slips into place. Make sure she stayed there. Looks like she moved a little bit on me. Knock off the damn ashtray. Yeah, I hear all sorts of businesses moving, even with the big old uptick in cost on, especially in the construction area. There's pretty popping down there. All right, now let me pick this back up. Take a peek. Yeah, she slipped out. And so let me take her back off and I'll put her on like that when I put her on. Well, that's the way you're gonna be. I should have known that was gonna happen like an idiot. Alright, we'll give her a tip. Now I'll try to slide this on in one piece. Actually, that's needs to be helped with that. There we go. It should be there. Now this little trifecta, quadfecta, if anybody's ever seen these, are pretty simple. You got two pads, a metal center slipper plate. You put one pad in, slipper plate, second pad. This piece has a collar that slides into a keyed, a hexed edge slot. Well, it goes in one way, and that's how it all locks together. And then she slides on. Get her in there in the right spot. Because of that slide. There we go. It's the whole way, so it only goes to one side. Spring and cap. The screw. Come on. A little better position there. Got it even a little easier to get that up out of the way. Okay, now because I don't have the room for the T-Rig, I should be able to get this one in there. That's the one. What kind of work you do, Eric? You've done construction, sales, linesmen for low voltage utility cable, phone, wireless. I'm not quite sure where to start with this set, but let's go with flush for now. And just leave her right like there. Something doesn't seem to be setting the tooth proper. That thing been whacked. Something seems to be a little. You see that thing's riding high on that side a little bit. Huh. Like that. Almost looks like this thing isn't quite milled right. Geez, I would hope it would be better than that. Let me take her back off and try to readjust. Oh, okay, heavy mechanic. Yeah, you would be busy. Especially down there because they're moving stuff. Yeah, I always do the mechanical stuff. worked on my own vehicles and stuff, but never, wanted to be a quote unquote mechanic. Did the whole auto lab and stuff at school. Peel this back out and take a peek. But I went through the whole auto lab thing and is that right now? Okay, so that just kind of slides on. Flapping around, so I think I need to get a spacer on that. I've got a couple spacers in mind that I think will work well for that little spot. Let's see, right there's one black MIP spacer, just a small, maybe 1 millimeter thick. That will ride all the way in there. Let me see this back plate and if it sits a little smoother. Doesn't look like it's thick enough. Maybe. See how that sits in there. Try. I got a slightly thicker spacer in this pile. I'll use a couple, maybe not. From each of those then. Got thicker MIP and then one of the thickest, bigger other shims that are thicker. So I'll probably need one on the other because that's got a drag race concepts tranny on it as well. Okay. Shims. Take one set and set them aside. There. Go ahead and put the MIP spacer on. And then the other, probably a 1/12th, maybe a 20th, just to add a little extra on there. Back plate, because it felt like it wanted to snug up a little bit more. Now let's see if we can get this on. Yeah, let's try it like this. Yeah, it could be the gear. That's very possible, and I've heard a little bit about that. When I had it tight and I was moving, I could actually see this edge here was wiggling a little bit. And I think it was just kind of almost free floating a little bit between the back of it and the bearing on the inside. So hopefully that's what it's doing. Oh, that's right, I got to line up my key slots here. Well, actually, no, that's on the rest of it. Okay, I'm just got to line that one up. U1. We'll get U1 to line up the pads. Line up the other pad. There we go. Let's drop some spray and collar. I've got another little washer. Where's that little washer? I had it out here earlier. Here. And that one will work. Well, that's a pretty big washer, but that's okay. Anyway, just to add some slip resistance between the nut and collar. And let's go ahead and tighten this down. But yeah, I have actually, now you mentioned that, Eric, I have seen those posts about team associated spur gears not being sometimes as true. But I did, like, see the back of it, the housing's spinning a little off true. That could have still been the spur gear even, because it's all pushed together, obviously. We'll see if that made any difference at all. And go back. Nope. It's still doing it. And I do have a little more gap there. It could be the spur gear that's actually wiggly there. Seems like I got a little movement. Not quite as bad as it was. Probably not going to get it perfect, but you might be able to. The shaft's nice. I can see watching the nut spin. Looks like the shaft's good. Man, it'll work out have to. So there's that. She is ready. I'm gonna put this in and then make one adjustment to the one or the other of these brace turnbuckles here I put on. Oh boy, that's just gonna clear. The nut sitting right there, and she is within, geez, 1/2 millimeter. If I was using straight, non-bent ends here, she wouldn't clear at all. No, I might have 1 millimeter in there. Try to find a piece of white. Yeah, there could be 1 millimeter. Oh, she's tight. So tight. Might be a little tough to turn that one. That's how snug she is. Should be very good and tight. Those good and tight. That being the case, I'll try to open this one up just a smidge. All three of them got the Drag Race Concepts tranny. This is the mid-motor version. This and the Redshift both have the Drag Race Concepts mid-motor tranny. This one, the TARP, I gotta double check, but I believe this has 500,000 diff fluid on a hot racing diff. Robinson Racing. No, not Robinson Racing Top Gear. Yeah, Robinson Racing Top Gear in hot racing aluminum idler. And I got 200,000, basically same setup, and 200,000 in the Redshift. It needs to open up a little bit. I think it's got to come the other way here. Not much, but we need to make them even. Oh, that is the wrong way. The right way the first time. And all three of the transmissions got the drag race concepts associated top shafts. Yeah, these take a stock Traxxas diff. I'm gonna say this now after seeing the drag Traxxas, the drag truck transmission. It'll take the stock diff out of what's gonna be the old two-wheel drive Traxxas transmission. I'm presuming this new transmission will be upgraded into all the other two-wheel drive Traxxas rigs that have been dropped in the drag truck. So yeah, basically a hot diff. I've got a hot diff case in both these mid-motor setups. I've got 200,000, like I say, in the red shift, and 500,000 diff fluid in this with the Traxxas planetary gears inside. And I don't think the new planetary gears are going to work in the old diffs because it's an entirely new case and new gear setups too. So yeah. Here's an interesting thing. I was talking with a buddy of mine earlier, and a few other people have put a post up on it over on Facebook. Is Traxxas loves to sue companies for using the word max. I guess why McLaren had to change the name of the M-Max Pro 160 is because Traxxas sued them for using the word max in the name. I've got a buddy of mine, not related to those guys at McLaren. I've got a buddy of mine, lives up in the UP, and he's got a grow store, and it was called Growmax with 2 X's. I think might even have been 1 X. I got a sticker around here. He's had the store for 10, 12 years. Well, 2 years ago, he used to be an RCer. So 2 years ago, he got the bright idea. Let me, not much going on up here in terms of RC up where he's up in the UP. So he opened a Traxxas dealer and started selling Traxxas stuff. He's the only one within a couple 100 miles, easy. I mean, he's up in the UP. Traxxas sued him because the name of his store was Growmax. Absolutely flipping insane. And he's one of the dealers. He's selling all sorts of crap. So he had to change his store name. He had to change his RC name because it was called Growmax RC. He had to change all that stuff. I mean, unbelievable. So, yeah, it's crazy. And Traxxas has done that with a lot of people. You hear people bitch about Traxxas, not the cars, but the company. That's why, because they sue anybody who uses the name Max. Had an argument or a discussion with a different buddy about a month ago. I said, man, it's time to create a oversized female massage pleasure device and call it Dillmax and sell it and wait for Traxxas to sue us. Just to get sued, to bring the absurdity. They're going to sue a dildo manufacturer for a name of a dildo called, Dillmax or Dildomax or Vivemax or whatever. And I'm that kind of an asshole. I would do something like that if I had the funds. Because I think it would just be hilarious. I mean, it would be worth the $2 million to bring that into the public spotlight. Dildo company to get sued by Traxxas. But with that being said, they called their Traxxas transmission that looks so much like the Pro line, the Pro Series Magnum 727. And why that's so funny is Pro Line's transmission is called the 32P Pro Series transmission. So yeah, it's almost it's almost like they're doing it and saying, yeah, sue us, Proline, sue us, Spectrum, sue us, Horizon. So it's getting spicy in the neighborhood. So yeah, in my opinion, yeah, they should sue. And if they actually went and followed along with the Monster Energy lawsuit that actually went to some high courts, they'd probably win against Traxxas. So yeah, let's see it happen. I'm up for it. Because Traxxas rigs are decent. I like them. They bring a lot of people. They're decently priced. They bring a lot of people into the hobby. They're not the fastest RC. They may be the quote unquote self-speculated fastest name in RC, but they're not the fastest RC. Ooh, that's off quite a bit. But I'd love to see them get their comeuppance. Just because of that, I might be able to do one thing here. Just to make sure I'm catching the corner like it should be. That looks like it's short, so actually that's got to be tightened up a little bit. So yeah, I think I would love to see them get their proverbial law butt handed to them. You know, politics even in RC. I listen to all these other channels where you mention politics and you may as well spoke the devil's name in the flesh. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. We can't. So many people have been programmed that we can't talk about religion and hard times and the reality of life because somebody won't like it and unsubscribe. That's the madness that's allowing it to happen. There we go. That's better. They're both the same measurement now. Very, very, very close. All right. She is ready for a body. And I seen Justin post the other day from Backyard that the new vac machine has been delivered, and the company, which is McAllister, as I found out, is getting the machine pulled up and set up so they can start pulling the Backyard RC Alpha body, which is the Vega body, which is the one I'm waiting on for this rig. He did a beautiful job. Speaking of, court dates, I'm hoping GM doesn't get a bug up their ass because this thing, I don't know if you've seen the Alpha body, but it looks stellar. And if McAllister can pull it off and make a nice kind of heavy mold like Proline has, ooh, he's gonna knock it out of the park. I mean, his first run, where I believe he was pulling them out, or he had a small, team helping him that was having some issues. I think he still said he pulled like 50 or 100 or something like that, and they were gone in like 2 days. So there's interest. I don't know how many he's got on back order, first, full run hold. But anyways, machine got there, so that should be last week. Yeah, they're beautiful. That got there last week, so hopefully it's got set up and they're getting the bug and kinks worked out of that, so they can start getting me my body. I'm probably gonna order two as soon as they get done, because that would be sweet. Get that, get the Vega body, because he did a stellar job on the mold. It's like I said, I hope GM is cool. GM, they've been selling a lot of licensed bodies in RC lately. With Traxxas, the C10 drag truck. That's a licensed GM body. The Camaro that both of Losie's new rigs put out, that's a licensed Camaro body, 69s, I believe they are. 51 Mercs. I've seen though, that is a nice rig, nice looking body. I've thought about it. I've thought about maybe the J Concepts Bel Air. 56. My mom and dad both had 55 Bel Airs, matching except for color. Both well, I got pretty much 55. They were both 55 Bel Airs. One was black with a white hardtop, the two-tone black and white hardtop, and the other one was red and convertible, I believe. That was before I was born, though. They got rid of them, and I was in the early 60s, and I come in the mid 60s. For this, like I said, I got the Vega body. So, all right, so that's pretty much set up. I am ready to update the firmware on the RX-8. I got 280-5 on it, and they're having problems with that. They had problems with that, so I haven't taken it off because I haven't fired it up since then. So I got an update to the 280. I think it's -6 now. I don't think they've updated in the last 3 weeks. So, and then balance the tires, get the body, get it mounted. I'm gonna mount it as I have the other couple bodies, and this one will be pretty much ready to go. So I'm gonna slide this out of the way for a few minutes. Pull the red shift down and get that one on there. That's pretty much all that's waiting for. Was this back of this other Team Brood pad, backside. Put these in there for extras. Pull out red shift box. A few other things in here. I need those right now. There's that spring, 2 collars, pads, the spur, and a couple other spacers if I need them. These I think can come back in here for now. Backyard RC. No, I thought the Merc was set around the slash base. I thought it would. I thought that was the reason. I thought it was one of their or is that one of their modified dirt oval or late model actually. But these are the Backyard RC modified Fortec with banded arms. So they're basically 10 or 10 millimeters shorter per side than a banded arm. And they're set up with 0 toe. Okay, late model, that's what I thought. And these set up with 0 toe, and then of course, so they can go on either side. There's no right or left because everything's zeroed out as far as your toe set up. And it, again, 10 millimeters per side. So if you got a tight body and you need to narrow up your rear end a little bit and you want to get rid of your toe, these are now available. These are actually pretty decently priced, 20 bucks a set. I mean, he could easily get double that, no problem. Because there's a simple design. Could use a little, can't remember the hatching cut out. Do a little bit of weight reduction, just a smidge. Backyard RC. Justin, the same guy that made the Alpha body. He's got a few aluminum parts now. He's got these modified banded arms. Let me see. I think I have a set of regular arms, right? Those are fronts. And here's a set of RPMs in the bag. But so here's a set of RPM arms, and then of course, you know, put them on there. You can see they're short. I've seen people out there who have taken their RPM or stock Traxxas arms and then cut them down up into here and put the pin up into here. I haven't seen anybody go this short. These are actually 20 millimeters shorter per side. So wow, I could actually run you could run these on, put these on your rig and probably run the, yeah, that's not 20 millimeters, but that's a bit, dang. Those are short. Let me see how far they are. Yeah, 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters aside, I thought there were 10. You would have to, I think, yeah. I'm running the HDs. So yeah, I would think you would almost have to take bandit arms and modify them. I don't think the Fort or drive shafts. I don't think the bandit or Fortec drive shafts would be big enough or strong enough. With the higher power motors, I see some people using the heavy duty like Jado drive shafts. Traxxas to keep that rotational mass low. But yeah, they're 20 millimeters shorter aside. That's 40 millimeters shorter in the rear end. Talk about a drag stance. I mean, can you imagine if this thing was 20 millimeters thinner? I mean, crying out loud, that would bring the rear tire in this far. It would allow me to mount the shock almost up and down. Dang. Yeah, that's what I've got. The MIP HD Bandits. One of them's a set of Slash that have been cut down. But wow, yeah, 20 millimeters bringing that tire in. That's quite a bit. You see where that, edge is at. It's right damn near in the middle of the shock per side. Of course, they've got different shock spots, which will move it in, and it's starting about right here where it comes in. So it comes in about saying it kicks out a little bit, so that'll be probably in the same spot up in here, close. Once it's moved in, probably bring you a little bit closer back here. Obviously, you might even need a little more offset on the rim, depending on what you're doing. I thought there were 10 aside, but they're 20. That's impressive. They're short. If you really want to narrow up your rear end, that would certainly do it. Got that in there. Oops, slide these back together and in there. But yeah, that would definitely narrow things up a bit. So other than body, that should be ready. But yeah, I picked these up. Like I said, they were only 20 bucks a set. So yeah, so that's what I got. So I have thought, because of the, trying to reduce the rotating mass, maybe grabbing a set of the Jados and putting them through some paces on the 4.5 motor and see how they handle that. And if they handle that 4.5 and 3.5, then maybe swapping out to those and selling out off the heavy duty MIPs and lose that rotational mass and gain back those money and buy tires. Because they're all brand new. I haven't even been ran yet. Not one of them. Okay, so put that here. Parts there. You in here for now. Grab this, put it on here, so I got something to work on for the moment. Let's see how this is the mid motor, so I think it'll be that easy. But it's not too bad there. Go ahead and take the thing off though. I do like the way I used my noggin and contemplated this setup before I threw it on and ruined that profile with body posts sticking up and out everywhere. I gotta replace those screws at some point. Might take a couple, and I probably will actually take a couple of the red aluminums I have and trim them down. be a shorter length, and then use those. Be hidden enough. I could just go with the pins and caps back here. So like I said, it would be all kind of hidden and packed away. Thinking about one of those blower setups. I can't remember the guy who makes them, but it's a really, really well done 3D printed blower. But I think I actually, if I get one of those, that'll go on the slash dip. Potentially on the Vega. I can't quite remember what he did on the roof, on the hood actually, not the roof. He did a real heavy duty setup on that or not. Okay. We'll do what we started with before. We'll take our Team Brood pad, give her a sand, rough her up, just to scuff her a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I actually get to go back to work a little bit next week, a little bit more steady finally. We'll see. I could be put out of work any week. Just because of this, crap going on. I'm up in Michigan, and our princess is a little wacky. To which I say, impeach Michigan 49. Or actually, I'm sorry, not impeach. 86, Michigan 49. Did I just say that? Oh my goodness. All right, you too, Eric, man. Talk to you later. Have a good one. So, Lego, my Lego. Okay. It's over here. Try to turn it around somewhat, make it a little bit more visible, maybe. So, pads. Yeah, the nice thing about this is a 3-pad system. One color. There's one for the other setup. That there, it goes in the slash dip bag. One is spring. If I need one, I'll grab a different one. Let's check. Yep, that's the small one. That might fit. That one's too big. washer on the half. No. It'll fit this new. Alright. Pad. Back plate. 10. This is also an 84. I want to say 84, not 87. I've got 87 on the TARP. This is an 84. Ooh, really an 8 there. Once you put stuff on here, it's hidden. Hoping this will help me. Let me be able to see which is which, anyways. Easier single glance. I haven't unassembled to see where everything's at. Okay. 84, you go on the back, you go on there, you go on there. You slip in next. Ooh, let's see where I need to do a little sanding on these. I did do that on the last one, so I'll probably have to do that here just a little bit. Let's see how that one fits. That one actually fits pretty nicely. Which goes on this way. Okay. Grab my file. That one actually is nice and smooth. This one's a little snug, yeah. Both of them were a little snug on the last one. Slips in and out here. Better. Still a little snug. You want these things to float nice and smooth in there. See how that does. A little bit smoother. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's much smoother. bit. Sure. So nice. That can be the new bottom. Middle plate. Slit top. That lines up. Okay. Close. Let's see if we can get this to slip on easily as one piece. And slipped out a bit. Let's see if I can push it back to the spot. There we go. Slip that all the way around. The spring. Le color. L'évasion. Now I need a nut. Quite the right red. Now I want a nylock on it. Just a non-nylock nut. Can't get it on here. Potentially. All right. Get this one tightened up. This flush. Rim was flush right there, so there we go. Let's see. Yeah. 1 half, 2 1/2, 3 1/4. Should kick her down pretty good. Leave her a little movement. 3 1/4 block. And we can go back here. Back here, you go back here. You there. You there. You there. You there. I'll stuck back where it's supposed to be so I can find it next time. Memory's going to sleep. Actually, my memory's real good. Still gotta add another hole and lock those in spot once I get it all done. And get these backs done first. Okay. Once she's lined up, goes right up. There she goes. Ready for toss the pinion on and lock her down. Figure out which pinion I'm going to go with. These are all 48 pitch spurs. That's got an 84. The TARP has, I'm going to put it on backwards. I didn't mark it. I believe I put an 87 on the TARP. I guess I forgot to mark that one. I thought I already did. This has got a stock Team Associated slipper on it with the 87. But because this being the LCG slash, but because I have the McLaren M-Max Pro 160 ESC with drag race concepts. Sorry, the M-Max Pro with the Drag Race King, the DRK Lite firmware on it, which is 3-stage launch. I am half tempted. Let's see, put this back in the red shift bag with it to take the picked up a Revolution design for the slash, but I'm half tempted to throw the locker on it. And of course, this is for the DR10 because that's got the Drag Race Concepts tranny with the Team Associated top shift. And this is the slipper eliminator. So I got a slipper eliminator to throw in there, and that's got the locker on it as well. So I may do that. If I find that with the slipper installed, it's really not hitting on the slipper that much. And I can, lock it down and still keep control of it. I'll pop that off and lose some rotational mass and drop some weight on the slipper setup, which would be nice. All right, that's those. And just because I want to show it one more time, because it's turned out so far, I still haven't locked things down, but heavy little hog though. What in tarnation? A little bit closer to the game. That works better. I'll probably start trimming this thing out before too long. He says bye, trimmed out the next day or so. Getting kind of late tonight already. It's 11:30. But yeah, so I'm gonna call it. Thanks for hanging out for another hour. Hit that like, share, and subscribe if you're coming in and checking us out later. Hope you enjoyed the stuff I'm putting out there. And we'll see you the next time. Thanks. Have a good night all.